Hi, everyone, and welcome to Rant on Reels. I'm Michael Fooch.
And I am Mr. Xavier Barnett.
Today on the podcast, we will be talking about Miss Bala, and to commemorate...
and that's it. That's everything
And to commemorate Super Bowl 53, we are going to be talking about our top 10 football movies. So you're with us on a great night. How you doing today, Xavier?
I'm doing good. I'm living and loving life. It's Super Bowl. Patriots are in the Super Bowl. I like.
Do you think our audience that are watching us are going to know what team we're cheering for?
No, they're not. Clearly, it's the Rams.
For those of you listening to us on audio, there are a couple jerseys on our set, as well as we're both wearing Brady jerseys.
And we got a Tennessee Titan at the top.
Oh boy.
Delanie Walker. Number 82.
Anyways, enough about football. Go Patriots. That's about all I'm going to say about it. We'll talk more about it next week. Any movie news you want to talk about? About this week?
So, the final nail in the coffin has happened for a certain actor playing a certain role.
What role are you talking about?
It's an iconic role.
Henry Cavill as Superman?
No, it's even more iconic
than Superman.
Yeah, sorry, Batman's more iconic than
Superman. So Bruce Wayne. Sorry, Ben Affleck is out. Is what you're saying?
He's done. It's over for it.
Yeah, I heard that they're gonna make a younger Batman, a younger Bruce Wayne. What are your thoughts on this? Because I have some words.
Obviously, clearly you would have words.
Do you want me to go first because of my words?
Yeah, if you want to go first, go ahead.
You know, it's funny. When they announced Batman versus Superman, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a good idea. And then they announced Ben Affleck as Batman, and immediately I'm like, this makes no sense. And I have no problem with Ben Affleck. I love Ben Affleck.
Okay.
In fact, he is a good Batman. He has the look of Batman. He's got the chin. He's got the look. He did a good job with the role of Batman, even though it wasn't written very well, as we've talked about on this podcast many times.
He's probably one of the better parts.
However, Batman vs. Superman was the first movie with Batman, and you pick an actor that's over 40 for a franchise that you're hoping lasts for a decade like Marvel, because that's what they were trying to do. Mm-hmm. So how do you maintain a role when your Batman's already the oldest person in your group?
I don't know. That's a good question.
For me, I thought Ben Affleck was a bad choice for this role to begin with. But now they should be stuck with him. But what DC is going to do is they're going to have this new Batman, and I'm okay with it under one condition. I don't see Gal Gadot. I don't see Jason Momoa. I don't see Ezra Miller. I don't see anyone else who's already been on screen.
I don't think you're going to see anybody because their new thing, remember, they're everything's a separate...
Until they don't want it to be separate anymore. Until they want to bring someone in. You're telling me that Gal Gadot is not going to be in a Batman movie? Or this new Batman won't be in a Wonder Woman movie?
I don't think so.
I will bet you that before the next 5 years are done, we will see at least one of the DC heroes in a DC crossover.
Oh, at least one. Okay, then if you go 5 years, then yeah, I can see that.
So, but exactly,
but I don't know if it's going to be the Batman.
You know, you think they're going to keep Aquaman and Wonder Woman together, but Superman and Batman away from them?
Who knows?
They're two most iconic. Yeah, I know they're a disaster.
I don't know what they're going to do. Right? It's not. I wouldn't hold that. I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't happen.
Do you think the people at DC are just like, why couldn't Aquaman have failed? Because that could have given us like a 2-year window to stop everything and just start fresh.
No, I don't think they're like that. I think they're just
money hungry pigs.
It's Warner Brothers, right? They're on top of that too, right? DC. Like when we talk about Marvel, technically they do have their own unit, but DC, it's kind of Warner Bros. And they're focused on everything. So they're like, let's just throw some ideas out here and whatever sticks. Oh, a Joker movie? Okay. Harley Quinn was popular in Suicide Squad? Let's give her 3 movies. Right? It's kind of whatever. They're not really learning their lessons. They're like, whatever works, we're going to use, you know. It's kind of like that one excuse they had for Suicide Squad when it flopped, you know, like, well, we made this for the fans. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You were trying to... If you made it for the fans, guess who wouldn't have been in the movie? Batman.
That's true.
Like, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Suicide Squad movie. Batman had no part in it, but you were creating a universe. That's why you put Batman in it.
Yeah, it's just we'll see what happens from the next. Yeah,
Okay, here's a question for you.
Okay.
If you could pick an actor right now to be the next Batman, do you have anyone in mind?
That's a good question.
I know.
Who would play a good Bruce Wayne that's young? I'm trying to think somebody young enough, like in
I have it. I have one, but I don't know if I like him.
In their 30s. Who could be Bruce Wayne? I don't know anyone that's.
I'm thinking of someone. I think he's in his 20s.
20s. Who are you thinking?
Joe Jonas.
Joe. He's not even a good actor.
You didn't like him in Jumanji? I thought he was fantastic in Jumanji.
Oh, that's Nick Jonas, not Joe Jonas.
Oh, Nick
that's
Jonas. Sorry, Ron Jonas, brother. Nick, the one that was in Jumanji.
Okay. You know what? He could do that. Okay, I could see him.
Right?
Maybe. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I
had the Ron Jonas brother, but I wasn't into their music. But I loved him in Jumanji, and I think that look, that actor that he played in Jumanji, that pilot, that got some reminiscence of what Batman could be.
Yeah, him. I want to say Joseph Gordon-Levitt too.
No, he doesn't have. He's number one. He's too old now, and number two.
Yeah, he looks more like a Robin.
He does look like a Robin.
You know, he doesn't look like a Batman. Not quite.
What about? I'm trying to think of. There's another guy I'm thinking of. The guy from that movie with Michael Keaton. He was also in The Maze Runner.
Oh, that guy, the Maze Runner guy?
Yeah.
I don't know, he's too young.
Teen Wolf. He's getting older now.
I forget what his name is.
I forget what his name is,
Let's
too.
Pull up the old IMDb here.
Yeah, you could solve it out. But what do you think of him?
Like I said, I think he's a little too young, and I don't know if he could get big enough for it.
But you would have said the same thing about Chris Evans about Captain America. Do you remember how scrawny he was?
Yeah, but the difference is Marvel knows what they're doing. What's his face? Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien. How old is he?
Let's see. Oh, 90. He's a year older than me. What the heck?
So how old does that make him?
Gonna be 28 this year.
So 20. He'll be like 30 by the time he's Batman. I would want my Batman to be in his late 20s, so I can use him for 15 years. Again, if you're thinking of a franchise, you want a guy that can give you, especially a Batman, where he's going to be the focal point. Batman and Superman are your focal point characters. You want to have them a little bit younger so they can stay in fit and in shape for longer. You don't want Superman to be like 60 years old after 10 years.
Yeah, but who's more prominent to be? You know who I'd say would probably be good, but he was Superman.
Henry Cavill?
Yeah. Henry Cavill would have been great for it.
You know, who else? What's it?
Because he's in his 30s, right? They made Superman 30, and I'm like, that guy, he would have been perfect for a Batman role.
And he's got a Superman look to him, though. I don't know if he could play Batman.
He has the Superman look to him because we saw him in the Superman outfit. If we saw him in the Batman, I think he'd have more of a Batman.
Does he have the chin to be Batman?
He kind of does have the... You know what he does? I'm looking at him now. He does look like he can be a Batman.
Yeah, okay.
He looks like a Bruce Wayne. I think he looks more Bruce Wayne than... He looks less like... He does not look like a Clark. As Superman, yes, but if we were to go to Bruce Wayne, if we were to go to Clark Kent, he wouldn't be able to. Okay. But Bruce Wayne,
and technically, the way they wrote Superman in the DC universe now is he was Batman, right? He was dark already. So yeah, he played him dark. I could see it.
Yeah.
All right. Enough about DC. We'll have a lot of DC stuff to talk about next month when we look at Shazam. Mm-hmm. But for now, let's talk about Miss Bala. So at this point, we are going to have a lot of spoilers on our podcast.
Spoilers for everything. Every movie. Well, actually, there's not pretty much Miss Bala. And the top 10 football movies as well.
Okay. So without warning, what are your opening thoughts on Miss Bala?
When I saw the trailer for this, I was like, yeah, I don't really want to see this. And when I saw it, I was like, whatever. That's how I feel.
I could sum this up in one word. Bad. Bad.
Terrible.
I found this movie, like you, I don't really watch trailers, as our regular listeners know, unless it's a movie that I don't care to see. Mm-hmm. And this was a movie that I watched the trailer to. And like Xavier, no interest in seeing it. And after watching it, I found it was not a believable movie. There was a twist in it that everybody saw coming. We have a girl surrounded by all evil male characters. Every character that Gina Rodriguez's character interacts with is an evil male character. To me, movie is, everything wrong with Hollywood. It's a whole movie that shouldn't have even happened. And I'll explain why towards the end when I ask Xavier a question that I think will blow his mind on why this movie doesn't even need to happen.
Fair enough. Okay.
So, and one other thing, and we'll talk about this as we really dive deep into this movie, is this is a movie on why people don't trust government, why they don't trust the police. It just portrays them as just bad. Mm-hmm. Bad all around. Bad, bad, bad.
I think this is just more, this person's on their own and she's trying to figure out, she can't trust anybody. You can't trust criminals, you can't trust the police, you can't trust...
it's such a negative idea of society. No wonder our society's messed up. We got movies like this that say, you're on your own, screw the rest of the world, you can't trust anybody but yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's how these young kids that are growing up watching movies, that's what they see now. They grow up and be like, well, I'm in it for number one because society is evil and corrupt.
I don't even think this movie's doing well though, because when we were in the theater, we saw all old people. It was pretty empty.
Yeah, but we also went on a Saturday night.
Yeah, right?
Sorry, normally we go.
Right? Yes. You think this is the first one kids are going to see? I think they're going to go see more Glass or
probably, which is worse, but that's another story.
I don't know. I think this is worse.
All right, so let's dive deep into this movie. Let's get our listeners to understand what's going on in this movie. So this movie follows Gloria, who's Gina Rodriguez's character, and she's an LA makeup artist. And
what's up?
Then did you find, even actually before we get started, did you actually find that important at all? Like the first scene in the movie where she...
Well, just explaining why she's going to Mexico. That's pretty much
not even that, but she has all of these designs she wants to show this guy. Hey, take a look at all my design. No, you are here to work. That's it.
Yeah. It just seems like she never really had a good life, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, but I was just thinking what's the point of that piece of line? It just...
Yeah, because that was never brought up again.
Yeah. So anyway, she's on her way to Tijuana to help her best friend win Miss Bala beauty pageant.
Miss Baja. That's with a J. J.
I thought it was Miss Bala.
No.
Isn't the whole name of the movie called Miss Bala?
Yeah, it's called Miss Bala, but it's a play because of the Kavala, the bullet. It's like that. A play on word for that.
So it's Miss Baja.
Yeah, I don't know I don't have a Spanish accent, so I can't say it properly, but it sounds like... So that's why they kind of did it that way.
Okay. So she goes down to Tijuana, she meets her friend, they go sign up for this beauty pageant. And just a little pet peeve about this movie. So they're standing on a desk, and her friend Suzo signs up, and then the person who's working the desk goes to Gloria, would you like to sign up? And she's like, no, I'm here to support my friend. And the girl sitting at the desk is like, yeah, that's probably for the best. And I'm just thinking...
that's so unnecessary. That was so uncalled for.
Gina Rodriguez is an attractive woman. She would not be the worst person in any beauty pageant.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, wow, that person's just really rude. And then her friend's like, what? What'd you say about my friend? And I'm like, okay, I guess this is just to show us, that line was to show us their bond, their tight bond that they have.
Probably, but I was like, is that showing that no one thinks she's attractive? Because from what we saw as the makeup artist, she's no one notices her. But as the movie goes on, everyone just thinks she's this most attractive girl in the world. So I'm just like, why is this scene in the movie? Again, it's a nitpick. I understand that, but I found what was the point? Anyway,
sorry about that, guys.
They go to this party at this club, and Gloria goes to the washroom, and this gang of people come in with guns. They point a gun at Gloria, and they look at her ID. She's American. Okay, you can leave. You're good. So Gloria runs. She gets out of there. The gang shoots up the club. Gloria is now looking for Suzu.
Suzu. Suzu's her friend. We gotta do a little bit of background here. She went to visit Suzu. They've been very tight. It's her only family that she has left. Right?
Yes, we find out that her dad is dead, but we have no idea what happened to her mom. Mm-hmm. But we also hear that she's got a broken family. This is Gloria, by the way. Mm-hmm. We have no idea about Suzu's family.
We have no backstory on Gloria. It's pretty much just whatever happens in real time is what actually happens.
Exactly. So she's looking for this friend. She stays up all night at the cafe across the street. There, she has tried calling the hospital, this and that. Finally, the next morning, she wakes up in the cafe alone. That's closed now. Mm-hmm. Let's not get into that aspect.
Yeah.
But she goes to talk to a police officer. Now, I find this very interesting. There's a shady police officer. He looks shady.
Yeah.
By himself, no partner. And she goes to this police officer. I know who shot up this club. Please help me find my friend.
You want to know something funny about that? The police car is even different from the police cars in the background. If you look at the background, I don't know if that was out of the budget or anything. But
I didn't even notice
the car,
that.
I was like, it's kind of like, why is she? That's how I knew right away that he was.
Oh God!
Was crooked. Like even before that, I knew he was crooked,
well, again,
but that just confirmed it.
Knowing the preview, how else is she going to be captured unless she goes to a corrupt cop? So this cop might as well had corrupt written on his forehead. So she sits in the car, and the cops like, tell me everything. I don't know about you, but that's not really police protocol.
Yeah.
So the guy ends up talking on his cell phone, and Gloria's just sitting there, like, not mind your own business. I turn to Xavier in the theater. I'm like, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag.
Even on top of that, too, like I said earlier, why is he driving down the street when the cops are just right there? There's probably a detective there, and she could just...
Absolutely.
He probably would have just taken her. He's like, okay, let's go talk to the detective. He's like, no, let's go to the station.
And I mean, like, I understand this is a movie, and we have to get rid of some reality, but, like, this girl lived in Tijuana for some time growing up. Mexico is not the safest place. Corruption in the police force is understandable. Mm-hmm. Not that it's... I'm not sure how rampant it is. I haven't done my homework on that. But there is reason to believe that you would know that that's a potential option.
Yeah. I mean, like, if there's corrupt cops in the States, there's corrupt cops everywhere.
No, but Mexico has a huge problem with the cartels, right? Like, this is not... Anyway, whatever. That's not the kind... We're kind of getting away from the idea, but it's just... It makes Gloria look very naive. Makes her look stupid. I didn't really like this scene.
Maybe she was... I guess I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here, but maybe she was just panicked or could not think straight.
Probably.
She's like, I just seen a bunch of people. Like, I mean, she saw some girl get shot.
She saw a dead body the night before for the first time. There's definitely some nervousness, but...
But I guess I've never been in that situation, but I would think if I seen that, I would probably go to, like, the big group of...
Yeah, I would stay in groups. Like, if you just came out of a shooting in a country where this is kind of the norm, like, and maybe you don't necessarily trust the law and order all over the country. I don't know. For me, I would want to be in groups of people.
Yeah.
Because we both knew if you've watched the trailer, we all know that she's going to be captured by this gang. But, you know, I thought she was going to be captured because they came and found her, not because she walked into the gang.
Yeah.
So this cop takes her to the gang, and the gang takes her to the leader of the gang's house, Lino. That's going to be the leader. Mm-hmm. And they get her to drive a car and park it in front of the DEA safe house, and then they blow it up. Now, I don't understand this at all. Now, see, I thought the reason why they got her to do it is because the DEA didn't know who the leader of the gang was, or what I forget the Spanish word, what they called him, but
cartel,
whatever the leader is. I thought they didn't know what he looked like. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was the reason. We'll get someone else to do it, so they don't have a name to the face. But we find out later the DEA actually did know who he was. So what is the point of getting Gloria to do this? do this.
Maybe so. Actually, no, he would still get away with it because he was gonna bomb him no matter what.
Yeah.
He just switched the guy.
Yeah, they didn't know Gloria was coming to him.
Mm-hmm.
This plan was always in place.
Maybe he just didn't want to waste one of his guys, and he just put somebody else there. I don't know.
But he could have gotten anyone from the street to do it. Here, I will pay you $1,000. I don't know. Or 1,000 pesos.
Well, you do that, but maybe he was going to do that, and who knows? We have no idea what he was going to do. But at the time when he said, why did he pick her, like, going a little forward here, they're like, why did you pick her? He's like, oh, because they wouldn't expect her because she's a gringo.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't know.
that's the first.
But
I'm
she doesn't look like a
behind.
gringa.
She doesn't. Well, no.
So that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So when I'm watching this movie, like, I'm at this point, I'm done. I really am. Like, I just don't understand the motives behind characters. And to me, when I'm watching a story, I'm looking at motives. And again, I thought I had the motive. The DA didn't know what he looked like, but we find out 20 minutes later that he does. So it's like, what was? I don't know. And this is another thing with so Lino's number one guy is Peo, and Peo from the moment like he sees this girl, he's like, we can't trust her, can't trust her. This is a typical kind of mob mentality movie. When a stranger comes into the gang and your number one, the person you trust the most in the gang, says, we can't trust this person, and the gang leader's like, of course we can.
Yeah.
This girl's never gonna do anything.
I mean, you know,
It's like 101 gangster. It's so unoriginal. Yeah, you're wrong, and you're like, no.
And on top of that, it's not like she was very slick, and her excuses for where she went were the best reasons.
No.
It's like, when she was with the DA, she was with the DA for, the phone was off, the DA. DEA
is district attorney.
Yeah, I said DEA.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
I say it so fast because that you can't hear with your ears.
Yeah, apparently not.
Because you're an idiot.
Wow. So anyway, Gloria escapes. So after they blow up this safe house, Lino's like, we want you to become Miss Baja. Mm-hmm. So
Baya, I think. I don't know.
Anyways, for some reason, this is an aspect. So they take her to this the pageant place. They sign her up, and she ends up getting away from Peo. She runs for help, screaming she's been abducted, and runs into some Americans. It's like, please help me, I've been abducted. The Americans capture her, and we find out they're the DEA. They've now handcuffed her to a chair, threatening her, calling her a terrorist. And you're like, what?
Wait, and how they just tracked her to? They knew the whole time that she was innocent.
They got it. They clearly had to know that. That was one of my comments that I wanted to make. They clearly don't care about this girl. They're using her. They clearly believe her story because initially they're like, "You're bad. You're a terrorist." And then when she finally agrees to help them, they start talking all nice to her. Like, all you need to do is find us the evidence to clear your name.
Yeah.
So clearly,
they probably should have got just. Were they waiting? But the DA was there already. Were they waiting for anybody? Like, were they waiting for anybody? How did they know she was gonna escape?
We saw the DEA at the club right before they shot it up. Mm-hmm. So we really find out after even that they don't even care about her because even when she helps them and she gives them Lino on a silver platter. And they don't help her escape.
Yeah, they don't have any escape routes.
They have no intention of helping her. And again,
there's only just two guys there. It's just those two.
There was three of them. There was a sniper on the roof too. The two of them and the sniper on the roof.
I thought the sniper on the roof was their guy.
Maybe. You have to really. I have to rewatch it to kind of see. But anyway, my point is, this is why people don't trust the government. Like these are police officers that are supposed to help you, and clearly. They have no interest in doing that.
Maybe they thought maybe they're like they didn't help her because they thought she was a criminal the whole time.
But you said clearly they believe. Even you're saying clearly they knew.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like the writing was a little wonky. There.
Very wonky.
It's never
So-
fully explained really anything in this movie.
No,
to be
not, and
honest.
that's another problem. Nothing again, and we're kind of illustrating this as we go along. Nothing's really explained. Things are just happening for the sake of happening.
Mm-hmm.
So she ends up saying, "Okay, I'll work for the DA or the DEA." See, I did
Yeah,
that.
DEA.
So-
DEA.
So what they want her to do is they wanted her to put a chip from her phone into Leno's phone, and when she does that, she will be free.
I thought it was for her phone.
No,
Oh,
it
then
was
they
her
put
phone.
it in
That what
Leno's.
you have to do is you have to put in your phone and then memorize my number, and then call me when you've done that.
Yeah. Okay.
So they go. She hasn't decided whether to do it or not, to turn on the phone that Leno's given her. But she goes back to Suzu's house, and she kind of showers and kind of composes
Recuperate, yeah.
herself. And then the boy at Suzu's house opens her phone, so she has no choice now. So Leno and his crew come over to Suzu's house,
Yeah.
and she has this chip in the phone she has to get rid of because if they open the phone to see, she'll be seen a traitor and killed. So she puts it in her bra, and then Leno says, "Go to your room," kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
go to
He
your
tells
room.
the
and
kid
wait.
to go to his room, and then Leno tells her to go to her room.
So then Leno comes in with a gun, takes off his shirt. We see like an E on his back with like an asterisk.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of that's the mark of their gang. And he basically says, if you want the boy to be saved, you have to do me a favor. She's like, okay, whatever you need. And he's like, okay, I want you to strip. She takes off her pants. She takes off her shirt. And as she's about to take off her bra, and she's going to be screwed because she has the chip in her bra, Peo comes to distract her.
Just in time.
Just in time. And so while Leno's away, she takes the chip out of her bra and puts it back in her phone. And then Leno comes back in and it's like, I'm just going to lie in the bed, lie with me. Again, just pointless story. It's fake tension.
Yeah.
Completely fake tension.
Honestly,
Like, what's Leno's motives here? Is he trying? Because we know as the movie goes on, he never sleeps with her. So clearly, he's not trying to sleep with her. What are the motives?
no, I
for
think he's trying to sleep with her, but he's taking the white knight approach. You know, he's trying to.
He's telling her to
be a
strip.
friend.
He's telling her to strip right off the bat. And then and then the next thing he's going to do, we're going to talk about, is he sends her on a drug run. This isn't someone being a white knight.
He's doing the white knight and black knight. He's trying to do a mixture. It's never seen before, and clearly we've seen it didn't work because we know how it ends. But
What?
we see her trying to. I think like honestly, the reason why he brought her on was not because he thought she was agreeing or anything. I think he was just really, really into her. But like,
See, I don't think he
or
was.
his motives were terrible.
He has no motives. No motives whatsoever. He says she reminds him of a girl, Samantha. But if he cares, see, here's the other thing for you, and that's kind of I'll set up the next scene, and then I'll ask my question to go with it. So they make her a drug mule. They put a bunch of money and tape it to her stomach, and they put a bunch of drugs in her car, and they send her to San Diego to have to go through the border. If he's trying to get with this girl, why would he send her on a suicide mission?
He's taking I don't know. Love's insane. He's
obviously
he's an abusive person. Like we've noticed that. Like he's a criminal. He's not a a perfect being. We all clearly know he's a little.
I'm just saying,
messed up in the head.
if he's trying to sleep with her, he's either going to sleep with her, or keep her around to sleep with her. Like the idea is, if you send her on a drug run through the U.S.-Mexican border, she probably ain't coming back.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know how she went through that.
And it's funny because I was going to say, somehow she passed the dogs.
Yeah.
And the dogs don't notice. The dogs are there going through every car, drug dogs, and they just walk right behind her. It's so unbelievable. Why even have the dogs there?
I know.
Or at least have a scene saying, like the DEA is calling saying, let her go. Yeah. Like have them in on it.
Or have a scene where they put like some sort of chemical to like take the dogs off the scent of the dogs.
It just doesn't make any sense. It's unbelievable.
Like I know just putting it underneath your car, I don't think that's just gonna hide it, right?
Like, what's the?
Just like,
I just don't understand what's going on. Like, why are you doing stupid things? Like, just don't have the dog. Don't even have that scene. She crosses the border. I don't even need to know that. But when you making that scene just as a viewer, I can't get. That's not reality. That's not even reality in the world you've created. That just it's never would happen.
Yeah, because
you
we
have a
see
drug
somebody
dog,
else getting caught out.
yes.
Yeah, getting arrested for the same charges, right?
And it's not like the dog. It's like not like we're the Millers where they've got all these drugs, but someone else gets caught and they have to deal with them, so she gets to get off scot free.
Yeah.
The dogs walk beside her car.
Yeah, and she just like smiles at the guy. And... Yeah, I don't know how she got to pass that, but okay, fine, we'll deal with that. we'll let them have it for what.
I won't. Again, this goes into all my rating and important because. Sorry, this goes all into how I'm going to rate the movie. Mm-hmm. So she goes to San Diego. We meet Jimmy. So Jimmy takes all of the drugs and the money and tells her to get into this new van, which has a bunch of weapons in it, and tells Gloria to tell Lino that there's a mole in his organization.
Yeah.
So she drives back to Tijuana and is told to go to this huge abandoned parking lot. So she calls the DEA, which this guy's name is Brian Reich, and tells him where she's supposed to deliver the guns and that everyone's going to be there. So Reich tells her to text the word ox when she sees Lino then you're free to go. And Gloria's like, okay.
Yeah, we'll have a switch up for you.
Yeah, Gloria's like, okay, where do I go then? And he's looking on his Google Maps or whatever it is and says, there's a yellow door. So go to that yellow door and have a team waiting to take you out to safety, to pull you out of there. So, perfect. So she does this. So she drives into this parking lot. They're looking, checking the guns. She sees Lino. She texts Ox. And then there's a shootout.
Yeah.
So she just takes all of her bravery, runs to the door, looks in. There's nobody there.
Yeah, she got betrayed, double-crossed.
So this leads me to this question.
This feels like an episode of Grand Theft
Auto.
Well,
let's talk about this for a second. Is there a bigger scumbag in this movie than Brian Reich, the DEA?
I don't know. Lino's pretty up there, too.
I'm going to say no to this. He's a scumbag, but at least he's has more motives than Brian Reich.
Brian Reich's just, I want to kill all the bad guys, even though he is a bad guy.
Exactly. It makes him a bigger scumbag.
I mean, that movie was terrible, but I feel like Lino's the bigger scumbag because he set this up and he's kind of playing a bigger psychological game on Gloria by helping her.
But you think he likes her?
Yeah, he likes her, but he's messing with her. Just because you like someone doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. There's toxic relationships.
Okay, fair enough. But at least he treats her right. Like he gets her nice dinners, as we're going to talk about.
Yeah, he gets her nice dinners, but he also asks her to strip and puts dead bodies and threatens to kill her family and stuff like that. He's like,
I don't know. He technically never did that. That was Peo. He never technically threatened that. He mostly was nice to her.
Mostly, yeah, I guess.
Like honestly, more times than not. Like yeah, he made her do stupid things, like take a car with drugs across the border.
Yeah, he did. But do that. He sent her on a suicide mission. Plus, he sent her to go blow up a DA's office.
Yeah, but at least she was there to protect her. I don't know. I'm not disputing you, but the DEA was going to brand her a terrorist, and then basically left her for dead in the middle of a shootout with no way out. That to me is a much bigger scumbag. Lino in that same shootout went to run to save her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's messing with her psychological.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I don't know.
Which is a little bit worse.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. If he actually liked her, I don't know. Either way,
long-term effects of a toxic
even the name Reich, right? Like Reich means empire, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like a. I don't know. I think that that again, this movie just made every male character to be absolute scumbags, and I think Brian's the biggest scumbag because he just flat out, like, I mean, they all lie to her, I guess, but I don't know. It's because it's like a criminal lying to me is different than like a person,
somebody because
someone's supposed to be protecting you and trust. to serve and protect, right? That's the job of the police. So when they're lying to you, I
I
feel
don't
like
know. He's not the police though. He's DA. His job is to
law
get rid of all the
enforcement.
drugs.
Law enforcement. Everyone in
Get
law
rid of drugs.
enforcement is to serve and protect. Why are they getting rid of drugs? To protect people.
Yeah.
So when someone like that lies, I feel like it's more of a scumbag. Because if a criminal lies to you, shame on you for believing the criminal.
Fair enough. What
So-
about Batman? Do you believe he wouldn't lie to me?
Exactly.
But he's a criminal.
I don't understand what your point
Because
is.
he's a vigilante. So
Yeah. But, I guess, but we call him a hero. So again, yeah, if he lied to me, I think it would be worse. I feel like when heroes or good people lie, there's like, or going against their mission, right? Like Batman's got a mission. Like I'm okay. I'm not anti-vigilante.
Yeah, you
I
are.
like Batman.
You hate everything.
Why are you
about
turning this
Batman.
into a superhero thing? We're talking about Miss Bala. We've already had our Batman conversation.
I love superheroes. I'm addicted to.
Stick on topic. Our audience wants to know why we didn't like Miss Bala. So during this shootout, Gloria
Just
has
watch
to make
the
a
trailer
choice.
and you'll know why we don't like Miss Bala.
Gloria has a choice in the middle of the shootout. She can either help Lino and find her friend, or she can run out of there and be hunted by everybody.
Yeah, so obviously the choice is to help Lino.
Yeah, so she grabs Lino, he gets shot, he grabs him like you see in the preview, throws him into the car, gets behind the wheel and drives him out of there. Making a little bit of trust between Lino and
And
Laura.
Brian dies.
Yes, all the DEA die.
Yeah.
Thank God. So they take her to this gang safe house, and we meet Isabella, and this is Peyo's girl, who is also threatened to be there. Like she does, she's being threatened. If she leaves, her family will be killed.
Yeah.
So Peyo gets wind of that there's a mole in the organization.
But he doesn't get wind. He accuses Gina, right?
Well, yeah,
that big thing.
Yeah, Gloria says that I was told by Jimmy that there's a mole in your organization, so
Yeah.
Peyo has to find the mole. So he takes everyone's phones, and he puts them all into a room and locks the room. But Gloria gets into the room by creating a distraction and takes the chip out of her phone and puts it in some random phone. And the next day and a half, as it's going on, we see some bonding between Gloria and Lino, right? They go to get food together. He teaches her how to shoot a gun, etc.
He visit her to visit his family. Is that his family, or is that
No,
just a place to go eat?
Just a good food, right?
Oh, okay.
We get this idea that Lino wants to retire and buy this land and just own a ranch. Mm-hmm. That's right there. He's not surviving the movie, and then he's not a good person. That.
Yeah.
That is villainy 101. I'm just being a criminal to buy land so I can be a rancher. Mm-hmm. We hear that all the time. So they get back, and Peyo has found the mole, and it's Isabella. That was the phone that.
Yeah, who didn't see that one?
I know. Xavier turns to me. He's like, "Yep, saw that one coming a mile away." It's so obvious.
It's all because he had a sad story, and I'm like, I wish it was in one of the random criminals, but no, it's in Isabella, and she's gonna get murdered.
But it doesn't make any sense. I turn to Xavier right away after he says this. I'm like, it doesn't make sense because they shouldn't be believing this. Because there's no way Isabella would have known about the gun delivery. She wasn't even there.
train.
She wasn't even around. Peyo's not calling this girl who's being there under duress, being like, "Hey, sweetie, we have this gun delivery, so I just let you know I'm gonna be late."
Maybe he goes over, we don't know where she was the whole time, right? And we haven't seen Peyo, so maybe somewhere behind, I guess they're banking that we think maybe movies that do this.
But then Peyo should be punished for this too.
That's true.
For telling her. Right? No?
Yeah.
There's no way that they should be believed that Isabella should be the criminal. But you want to know why? You want to know why it's got to be Isabella?
They make it sad because he had a sad story.
Nope. That's not the reason.
Why?
Loss of innocence.
Oh.
This is what shatters Gloria. This is what breaks her. She saw death, but this is the first person that she's actually killed.
Well, responsible for.
Responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
She knew that whoever she put that bug into, that phone, would be killed. She could have just flushed it down the toilet, but she chose to put it in someone's phone.
Yeah.
Which, again, I don't know why she did. I would have just put it in the toilet or thrown it somewhere. Like, I don't know why she chose to put it in someone's phone.
I think maybe she thought she was putting it in...
Because clearly there was a bathroom in there because that was her excuse for being away.
Yeah, I thought it was a bathroom, but then it opened up to a different door, and I was like, what? But then there are bathrooms that have two doors to them.
I had no problem with that.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the reason why she had to die, because this is the loss of innocence of Gloria. So we get the end game kind of being revealed. So the next day, Lino wakes up Gloria and takes her to this room with all these lovely dresses. And she's like, what is this for? And she's like, you're going to be Miss Bala. And Gloria's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to do this. And this is like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I am done.
Like, you can kill me, blah, blah, blah.
Kill me, do whatever you want for me. Just make your decision. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend my whole life being a... What's it called? Like the Juju girl? I don't know what it's called.
Whatever it is. So Lino's like, come here. You know how I've been trying to find Suzu for you? I found her. Take a look at this video. And we find out that the chief of police, Sacido, has abducted her. So that night of the shooting, a lot of the attractive girls were rounded up and put into a truck and sold into sex slavery. So, your enemy is my enemy, Lino tells her.
So we got to work together.
Exactly.
To stop the enemy.
So you can leave, or you can help me, because whoever wins Miss Bala gets invited to Chief Sacido's house, into the bedroom, and you can go in there and get him alone.
We're gonna kill him,
and then we'll kill him, and we'll get your friend back. So she agrees.
Technically, they didn't even need... I don't know why they needed her. They could just... It could have been any girl that could have won. And then...
Don't ruin how I'm going to waste the movie, okay? Save that. Don't ruin my ending, okay? This is my whole thing. I've been waiting... I purposely didn't say this on the way home because I wanted it to leave it till the end.
My bad.
Ruin my thing. Anyway, so she puts... what do we call that? A communicator in her ear, so Lino can hear everything, and he can speak to her and help her through it. So she goes into this pageant. She wins because Lino has bought the judges, and she goes into Sacido's and flirts with them, and she gets invited to his room. On the way, she sees Suzu, and she goes to talk to him. Like, I'm here to help you. And Suzu tells the whole story. Like, I went into this. I got put into this truck, and then these people beat me, and then they put this on my hand. They made me do incredible things like slavery things.
Yeah.
And she notices it's the E and the star, the same mark that
Isabella has. And Lino has.
Oh,
it's a mark of the gang.
So Gloria realizes that Lino is the one who actually captured Suzu and sold her to sex slavery. Dun dun dun.
That's a really dumb idea.
Okay. Again, I want to say this for the end because there's a lot to
Yeah.
dissect with that scene.
Okay.
So Gloria goes into this room and she warns Sacido that Lino is coming by writing this on a postcard, like writing Lino's coming to kill you. So there's this huge shootout. Peo ends up getting killed, but pretty much everyone in the gang dies except for Lino, and all of Sacido's guards die except for Sacido. So Gloria gets this gun. She goes knocks on every door, finding Suzu, finds her, and they leave. And as they get to the front door, Sacido grabs her to use her as a shield. Suzu. So now it's Suzu being held at gunpoint by Sacido and pointing the gun at Lino, who's got a gun point at them. So Gloria shoots Sacido. Killing
the leg.
Him. Yeah, and then it doesn't... Oh, no, because she doesn't kill him.
Lino comes up and does the cartel execution.
Yeah. So then Gloria points the gun at Lino and says to Suzu, "Put up your hand." She puts up her hand so Lino can see that the mark is there. and basically said, Lino doesn't deny. He's like, I had to do what I had to do, and Gloria shoots him, kills him.
Well, no, because he runs at her, which is
Yeah, but he shoots her. But he was gonna shoot her. She was gonna shoot him anyway. Like,
yeah, I know he was gonna shoot, but
that Isabella scene set that scene up.
But like when you had the gun, you might as well just use the gun if your whole idea was to try and pull a gun out.
Yeah.
And
so both are arrested when the police come, and Gloria gets interrogated. And at the interrogation, it's Jimmy. Ooh.
What's Jimmy? Jimmy,
we find out
probably undercover DEA.
No, not DEA.
I know. I thought he was DEA, but then they opened the.
DEA. It was CIA. So? Oh, 100%.
Wow.
100%.
When you first saw
the DIA was seen. You can't make them villains and then have them heroes at the end. It had to be a different agency.
Okay.
Maybe the FBI, but I'm like, it's probably CIA.
I knew he was. I knew he was undercover. I thought Jimmy would be undercover for sure.
Anthony Mackie. I thought it was only in it for like 2 scenes of the movie for sure.
Yeah.
So he basically tells Gloria, "You changed a lot. I want you to work for me." Okay. So she's like, I will if you drop charges and free Suzu. So he does. Suzu gets reignited with Chara, the kid, and then we have the end of the movie as Gloria and Jimmy drive off into the sunset.
Yeah, Suzu's definitely dead after that move. Like literally, I'll give it probably a day. The cartel are
assuming
looking
people
for
are left from it, but yes.
Yeah, but everyone hears the story, right? They're like, oh, this lady, because the police talk, right? The police are corrupted. Everything, words get around. Like, this girl killed all these people, and only those 2 girls lived.
I would have. One of my demands would have been to extradite her to the States.
Yeah, that's what would have been me, just to save her. But even then, she probably would have got killed in the jail cell, to be honest, if the police was corrupt.
Unless it was a good jail, because they were. I don't know. But either way, that's probably a little nitpick. But I'm with you. So okay, my first question I have for you is, why didn't Lino just get Suzu to win the Miss Baja pageant and then get her into Cecito's room, right? Because we have Chara, either the brother or the son, which will be one of my next questions. What is her relationship with him? Mm-hmm. Lino could just be like, if you don't do it, I'm going to kill the kid. She actually wanted to be in the pageant.
Yeah, honestly, you could have got. Why didn't he just get? It could have been any girl.
That's what I'm saying. But you had her in you. You've taken her, right? You already have her. She's no choice. You've broken her. Yeah. So why do you go get Gloria, who's someone you can't trust, when you have Suzu, who has this kid that she's taking care of, and would do anything for? And she actually wanted to win this pageant.
We even know if that's her kid. Is that her brother, kid? We don't know who that is.
Yeah, no, that's another one of my questions. The movie never actually says if it's. I think it's the brother. I do.
Yeah, I thought it was her brother.
But it doesn't say that, because theoretically it could be her kid, because Gloria is the godmother.
Yeah.
So why would... She's probably about the same age as Suzu, right? Mm-hmm. So why would you make your godmother... I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was weird. But anyway, the point is, this movie should never have happened because there was no need for Gloria. It should have been Suzu.
Well, yeah, Suzu. Or maybe have Gloria, the character of Gloria, written as Suzu. I don't know.
It was either way. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You could say any girl, but they've actually set up in this movie Suzu to be the character to be the winner of this pageant. She wanted to be in the pageant. She wanted to win. All they had to do was take her and be like, listen, we will kill you and your son or brother, whoever it is, we don't know, if you don't help us. She would have been like, okay, all I have to do is win a pageant and go sleep with a
Chief Salato.
Which she was going to do anyway.
Yes.
Remember, they went to the club to flirt with the chief.
To get to win,
to
right?
win,
He pays...
and she's the one who tells Suzu's the one who tells Gloria that whoever wins the pageant sleeps with the chief of police.
Yeah,
another scumbag, another male scumbag in the movie. Because the males in this movie are scumbags. So you have a character that's willing to do everything on her own. All she had to do is all Lino had to do to Suzu was like, listen, do you want to win the pageant? Yes, I do. Then can you help me? We'll rig it for you to win the pageant, because we can just buy off everyone like they did for Gloria, And then all you have to do is when you get into the room, just wear this thing in your ear and just tell me what room you're in, and we will kill the chief, and you win the pageant. You get all the glory.
Yeah, and she doesn't even have to threaten. He doesn't even have to threaten
That's
the
what I'm
son.
saying. She
just wants to play and win.
This movie doesn't even need to happen, which is the biggest problem with this movie.
Yeah.
All right, my second question. Why is Jimmy working with Lino? Why is the CIA helping Lino?
I don't know. The CIA worked with Pablo Escobar, didn't they? Earlier?
No, I don't think so.
Earlier in the.
Yeah, I guess they did a little.
Because they wanted to stop the. So they always stop.
I don't know. It makes, but they didn't. At least they never explain that.
Yeah, and didn't the CIA train Osama to overthrow the Afghanistan?
Kind of,
right.
Yeah.
So they always say he does have a history of.
But at least it could be explained. Like there's reasons why in those cases they did help him, and even in that Tom Cruise movie, American Made, they explain why they're working with Escobar. Like it's always explained. What was the point?
American Made. That was a good movie.
No, it wasn't. But that's a different story. All right. So we can agree that it doesn't. This movie never explains it.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Is that a nitpick or is that a big thing in this movie that we don't get that explanation? I think it's a big thing.
Nah, I don't know. I mean, the fact that the movie doesn't need to happen, I don't think that anything else really will top that. So, I think.
Well, I'm gonna take it.
Does it break the movie? I mean, if they're not supposed to work together, then. But even then, like you said earlier, this whole movie would all she has to do is just because anyone could have just killed the chief, right? He could have just rigged any girl to
Once
win.
we knew what the end game was, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know why Jimmy's working with the CIA, but how about this? What is the purpose of the DEA in this movie?
They're trying to stop Lino because he sells drugs.
But why? Why do we need those? Why do we need that scene?
I have no idea.
Why does to make the American government look bad?
I guess.
I don't know. I just don't understand what their
to
what
make
their
her have
purpose
the
is.
mole. I guess it was trying to make some suspense thriller. They're like, let's make this.
Let's add some
suspense,
but by making some scumbag cops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we've already talked about the relationship between the brother and the kid we don't know. All right, how about this question? Why do the gang give Suzu a tattoo?
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
because branding of a tattoo is normally to say that you're a member of the gang.
Yeah.
So you said that you knew immediately that, or Gloria knew immediately that Lino had taken Suzu,
mm-hmm.
and that was the big twist.
Yeah.
But and that's what I thought too, because I knew how the movie was being written, how Lino was being written in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But what would have been a way better movie was if Suzu or the E and the star tattoo wasn't for their gang, but was for the chief of police,
mm-hmm.
and that Lino used to be in that gang, but was like betrayed by it,
mm-hmm.
and that's why he has the tattoo, or like that Suzu was in on it all the time, like something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It needed to be a different twist.
Yeah,
but this movie was never about that.
Yeah, it was just about Miss Bala. Killing people.
But this goes even a little bit more to it, because why would the gang want people to know that this person in sex slavery was in their gang?
I think
moreover than that too, why would the chief of police let someone with that tattoo into his house, knowing that is their rival gang that's trying to kill him?
Maybe no one saw it. It was dark. But
you're telling me? Remember, she did the whole numbers are here, right? You could see, you're telling me they're not going to look for that tattoo?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know, but who knows? My problem was, I guess they're trying to brand their property.
But again, and that's fine. I get that. But here's the problem: the chief's enemy is that gang. Why would he let someone now? If you knew that the chief was going to let this person in, why wouldn't you get someone you trusted to assassinate, like a Black Widow kind of character, to go in?
I thought we were going to talk about superheroes.
I'm just saying, I'm using or Atomic Blonde. Fine, that kind of character.
Red Sparrow.
with that same, or be like, I've been with this gang the entire time. But wait, like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. When I saw that, I'm like, why would you, if you're gonna betray her, especially with what you're trying to do, why would you decide to have them have a tattoo?
I don't know.
Cause like she's gonna know, cause you showed her the tattoo and the other girl showed her the tattoo, so
Yeah, exactly. And plus, you're
clearly
exactly.
there's a link, right?
You don't think that maybe Gloria might run into her at this party?
Yeah.
And she might tell her that these guys tattooed me?
Mm-hmm.
And you've already shown her your tattoo on your back.
Well, technically, you wouldn't think she'd be at the party, right? Because
No, he did. He told her that he told her she was going to be there.
he made. What an...
I know, it makes no... This movie makes no sense. The motives of any of the characters, the male characters, make no sense.
I don't know.
I feel like this is a...
This movie's just dumb decisions, dumb writing.
But this movie is about female empowerment because you have a strong female character. But if you're going to... My problem is, and I'm all for strong female character movies, just make a good story to go with it.
Don't
like
worry.
Atomic Blonde. Great story, great movie, strong female character. You don't have to make every male character dumb to make a strong female movie. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm done talking about it. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Do you have any questions that you want to talk about?
No, I don't have any questions.
All right. What are you giving this movie out of 10?
Probably going to give this a 4.
A 4. You're much more, you talk about a couple weeks ago when I was giving 10s out for the Goonies, and you're like, you're such an easy person. You're way easy. If we look at all the tape and all of the movies,
you have more 10s. I've not given one 10.
I bet you, if we count all the differences and we tally your score and my score, you're higher way more times than I am.
Yeah, but how many times have you given a 10?
1.
I've never given a 10.
Just 1.
Yeah. So I've never given a 10.
Good for you. My ranking of this movie is a 3. Mm-hmm. I'm going with a 3. I will say that Gina Rodriguez did a good job, and there is some decent action sequences that make it worth watching. I would not go see this movie in theaters. I would wait for Netflix or whatever digital streaming you want to do to it, but do not go see this movie in theaters.
No, don't pay money for this movie.
All right. That is it for our movies in theaters this week. This was a slow week for movies, and next week hopefully there's a little bit more. So we're going to talk about, with Super Bowl Sunday being tomorrow, we're going to talk about our top 10 football movies of all time.
Yeah.
What'd you think of when you were compiling this list? Did you find it easy to do, hard to do?
Got a little hard because there's only 5 I really, really like, and then... Actually, I'll say probably 7. 7 I really, really like. And then the rest, I like, but not overly.
I had a hard time. I found the top, like you, I found the top 5, 6 really easy to come up with. But movies like 7 to 15 were really hard because I found them all the same level.
Yeah.
And trying to pick 1 or 2. I bet you if you asked me to do this list again next year, my numbers even anywhere between 7 and 15 might change. Even maybe 8 and 15.
We're only doing top 10. Why'd you do 8 to 15?
No, I'm just saying, I wrote down all the football movies I really liked.
Oh, okay.
And then kind of went through. I actually had a list of 22, and then slowly got lower and lower.
Okay.
I don't just look at the first 10 movies I see that I like and write them down.
No. You don't have to do that.
I'm making fun of you because that's probably what you did.
No, that's not what I did.
All right.
I saw the first 20 movies I liked.
Let's give our audience what they've been waiting for, our list of movies. So my number 10 movie is a movie called Draft Day.
You get to start, okay.
You started last time. So Draft Day, for those of you who've never seen it, stars Kevin Costner. And I like it because it's a very different perspective on a football movie. It takes place over one day, and Kevin Costner plays the GM of the Cleveland Browns on the day of the NFL draft. And it's about what to do with his number 1 pick. So he ended up having the number 3 pick. He traded up for the number 1, and he gave up 3 first round draft picks over the next 3 years. And what I really liked is we got to see what how you relate with other general managers, how you relate with your salary cap analyst, how you relate with your coach. I thought the coach in this movie was hilarious.
Yeah, the coach was great.
Berating the general manager when he took the guy who was projected to go 8th in the first round first.
Yeah.
And then he ended up trading down for to get all of his first round draft picks back.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It was crazy. A lot of people hate it because they're like, that's not realistic.
But it is realistic. We saw it a couple years ago with the Washington Redskins when they traded 3 first-round draft picks for RG3.
Or Chicago Bulls. I mean, Chicago Bears traded for Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah. The Browns traded away their first-round pick to Philadelphia to get Carson Wentz. And they traded away their pick to the Rams to lose out on Jared Goff. Like, there's a lot. I think the KC Chiefs traded up to get Mahomes. People trade picks all the time.
Yeah.
The Leafs just traded a first-round draft pick to get Jake Muzzin. So it happens.
Yeah, that's what I enjoyed it. I liked it for that. It's a
positive film, right? Like, Kevin Costner's father was in part of the staff, and he had to fire him before he died. We see his mother in the movie. It's really
his father was the coach, right?
Yeah,
he fired his own father.
Yeah. It's the Cleveland Browns. They're a dysfunctional organization. It was good to see that something worked out for them.
Yeah, well, in a movie.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so that's it for that's my number 10. What's your number 10?
My number 10 is Draft Day. Same as you. I was trying to remember. I liked it. I remember when I left the theater, I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Same reasons as you. Like I said, people thought it was unrealistic, but as we look in real life, teams are making much more bolder moves now. And I feel like maybe they all watch this movie and like, you know what? Let's make blockbuster trades now and everything like that, right? So I'll just go switch to my number 9. It's When the Game Stands Tall. So I remember watching this movie, and I thought the reason why I like this movie is because the beginning really got me upset. I was like, it was hit me right in the feels. I was like, no, that poor boy, no. And then it's just a good movie to watch someone triumph over, travesty. Everybody has. Unfortunately, some terrible circumstances that happen in their life, and it's just nice to see that you either have two choices, right? You either learn and grow from it, or let this consume you and then just go into a downward spiral. So it's nice to see a more positive take on that. What about yourself?
My number 9 movie is Jerry Maguire. This movie is fantastic, and it's just another different take on a football movie. Instead of following football, we follow a sports agent. And we really get to see the cutthroat world of agency, right? The ruthless negotiations, the backstabbing that goes on with it. Mm-hmm. Tom Cruise plays the title character, Jerry Maguire, and he writes this, article or letter to his company and basically says, we shouldn't take on, 100 agents. We should keep it small, take on less clients so we can be more feel good to it. And he gets fired, and he has to call all of his players, and he ends up only getting really 2 of them, and eventually only 1. Rod Tidwell, right? Cuba Gooding Jr. And he basically helps him get a contract. He plays wide receiver for the Cardinal. He plays the season without a contract. He ends up getting hurt at the end. Oh, just a really good movie, and some great lines too, right? To show me the money. And you had me at hello, right? Renee Zellweger. It's a very good movie. My number 8 movie is Varsity Blues. Have you ever seen Varsity Blues?
No, I have not.
You should definitely watch Varsity Blues.
I haven't seen Jerry Maguire either.
Let me tell you some of the cast in Varsity Blues. So you have Scott Caan, James Vanderbeek, Paul Walker, Amy Smart, Ali Larder, and John Voight. And all those young guys, that's some of their first movies because it's from the 90s. So it's just showing you high school football in the southern United States. The crazy parents, the coach, John Voight, who's all about winning, win. He ends up the starting quarterback is Paul Walker, and he's got some knee problems, but instead of letting his knee recover, he shoots him with some kind of steroid or something to make the pain go away so he can still play.
Like adrenaline?
Yeah. and it ends up costing him because he blows out his knee and has to lose a year and a half of his playing time. So he loses his scholarship and everything like that. So James Vanderbeek is the backup quarterback. He has to come in, but he is like a smart kid. He's popular with the teammates. Like he's well respected, but like the coach doesn't like him because he doesn't care to play football. Like he doesn't want to play football. He's just doing it because like his dad is like a crazy football fan and makes him and gives him a hard time. But we see like the popularity of football in the town, right? These football kids can do no wrong. Scott Can actually steals a cop car and there's no consequences. The police allow the kids to drink. Like they basically say like you can come into like strip clubs. It's just things like that. It's a funny movie too. You know, there are issues in this movie like one of the main characters, the offensive lineman, he gets concussed in like early in the movie, and the coach kind of makes him play. It's an issue that in the 90s was just beginning to come out, right?
Yeah.
And then like you rewatch it now, it's like wow, there's so many actual traits that we can take from that movie that we've grown so much. So I really like that movie. That's my number 8. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Well done. Okay, so my number 8 is The Longest Yard.
Which
so
one?
The one from 2004.
So Adam Sandler.
With Adam Sandler. I really thought that movie was really hilarious. I enjoyed it. I loved the whole concept of a pro going to prison and then playing actual pros and everything like that. And even the one scene where at the time when I was younger, this scene like really, really upset me. I had no idea why. Like, you know where Chris Rock gets blown up and killed tonight?
Yeah.
I was like, when I saw that scene just really, I was like, what? He's dead? The next thing, like, you see it explodes. The next thing, you just see see the funeral that they have for him. And I was like, why'd they kill Chris Rock? He's so funny. I don't know why. I was really, really upset. But, like, overall, it was one of the better films that Adam Sandler released that I actually enjoyed.
Spoiler alert, and that's not on my list. I dislike that movie a lot.
Really?
A lot.
Wow. Crazy.
Your number 7 movie?
My number 7 movie is Undefeated. So this is about the high school football team. It follows. It's kind of like a biopic kind of documentary kind of film like that. It's a little bit weird, but I remember watching this and I was really intrigued. They've had undefeated seasons all the time, and pretty much just follows a school and really sees the dynamic and the friendship between the build and what makes them build. It's a lot like you can see a lot of influences from like the Patriots and Bill Belichick through this movie, which I love, and which is probably why it got so high on my list because of that bias. And yeah, that's about it.
My number 7 movie is Brian's Song. Probably another movie you've never seen, right?
No, I have not.
Brian's Song is another classic. In fact, my dad will probably be mad that I've only put it 7. He probably thinks it should go like number 2 or number 3. It's the Brian Piccolo story, and for those of you who do not know, Brian Piccolo played with Gale Sayers in the Chicago Bears, or with the Chicago Bears, and George Halas was the coach.
He also fought Raditz with Goku.
Anyways, so Brian Piccolo was diagnosed with cancer, terminal cancer, and that's why he kind of struggles in his last season. Mm-hmm. And it's just a sad movie. It's like one of the 2 football movies that will make you cry. Like I tear up when I watch that movie. And it's one of those movies that, believe it or not, this movie was made for TV. And it's just a movie that resonated with a lot of people since it came out. Like Billy D. Williams plays Gale Sayers. I forget who plays Brian Piccolo, but it's just a really good movie. My number 6 movie is Leatherheads. I think Leatherheads...
Is that the one with George Clooney?
Yes, and John Krasinski.
Okay.
And Renee Zellweger's in this one too.
I haven't seen this one either.
It's a hilarious movie. It's in the early time of football, so it takes place in the 1920s. It's semi-based on a true story, except for the team that they're playing like is the Duluth. I forget what their name is, but they're like actually the Chicago Bears. And basically, in early time football, the NFL, like adult football, was a joke. It was only college, and the league was kind of going bankrupt. Teams were falling out because no one was coming to watch them play. In fact, there were actually no literal rules of football really written out yet. So George Clooney, who's like the owner slash manager slash coach slash star player of this Duluth team, says if we take the best college athlete, which is what's his face, like Grange, right? Something Grange, that in real life. But if we get him, because he's a World War I hero, he's this huge college athlete. If we get him to come play for our team, it'll make us relevant. And at the beginning of the movie, he's like, I would never go play football in the NFL. I got better things I can do. So it's just about about formalizing football rules. It's hilarious. It's just a great movie. I highly recommend watching it.
Okay, perfect.
What's your number 6 movie?
My number 6 is The Replacements. So, really enjoyed The Replacements. I always thought it was pretty funny. Not gonna lie, this movie I don't fully remember. I just remember liking it when I was a kid. And just trying to have any more memories. This is one of the movies I have to give a rewatch.
You need to rewatch this movie.
Yeah, because it's... But yeah, that's what I feel about it. And we'll go on to number 5, which is Rudy. Which is a nice, feel-good movie. It just makes you feel good.
5. Wow. Go ahead.
Why are you hating on it? I know. It's okay. Fine. You're upset with 5. Well, it's okay.
Go ahead. Fine. Explain. Tell us your
reason. For me, I know everybody really, 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 really loves Rudy.
You haven't seen it?
I've seen this. I saw this in religion class. And it's a good feel-good movie, but the other movies I like a little bit more.
Rudy.
See, my problem with Rudy is, like, he wanted to play so bad, but, like, at the end of the movie, the team was winning anyway. I just felt bad. I was like, why wouldn't the coach just let the guy in? They're up, like, 24-4? And there's no way this team's coming back. And it was like, there's like 3 minutes left in the quarter, and they have to chant Rudy, Rudy, Rudy for him to play. And he's like, you know what? Fine. I'll give you the last play of the game. And I'm like, you're such a... I don't know. I just feel like the coach is such a dick, to be honest. That's my opinion on him. Right? But yeah, that's why I rank it a little bit higher than a little bit low than everybody else would. Okay. That's my reason.
That's your number 5?
Yeah.
All right. My number 5 movie is called Little Giants. Little Giants is a great, great, great movie. It's got Al Bundy, or also known as Ed O'Neill, who plays Kevin, and he's a former Heisman Award trophy winner, and now he coaches Pee Wee football for a living. And again, this shows us like football culture, but like Pee Wee football, not even high school or college football, as we've kind of talked about. And Kevin's brother, Rick Moranis, he has a daughter who's like this tomboy, who's just like this huge linebacker who would be like probably the best linebacker on this team. And Ed O'Neill, Kevin coaches the Cowboys, and when he's picking his team, he doesn't pick the daughter, Becky, his niece, also known as Icebox, to kind of give you an idea of her nickname. And so Icebox doesn't get chosen. She's sad. She convinces her dad to start another team, the Giants, the rivals of the Cowboys. So Kevin says to his brother, you can't do this. There can only be one team. So he's like, okay, well, let's play to see what the team is. So the Giants are this team of misfits, these like the quote-unquote losers of the community. All of like the kids, like the asthmatic kids and this and that. And like Rick Moranis brings in like football guys like John Madden and some of the big guys of the time to coach these guys, to help them out. They end up finding a quarterback, Devin Sawa. And then, like you expect, like the Giants win in the big game on the last play. And it's the Mighty Ducks of football movies, which is fantastic. Have you seen Little Giants?
No, I have not.
Oh my god, you're like robbed of a child. Like, what good football movie you haven't seen? You haven't seen Jerry Maguire. You haven't seen Varsity Blues. You haven't seen Brian's Song. You haven't seen Little Giants. You're killing me here. You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm sorry. Oh, you're going on. Oh, yeah.
I know it's my 4. Sorry.
Yeah.
My number 4 movie is The Waterboy. And The Waterboy is just a funny movie. Like, it might not be the best football movie, but it is hilarious and one of the funnier. I think it's Adam Sandler's second funniest movie. I personally think Adam Sandler has 4 like level 4 movies. Like, you've got Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, and I really think The Waterboy is like the last or the third of his funniest movies. And we have this character, Bobby Boucher, who is consistently bullied. And then he just loses it one day and knocks out the quarterback of the team. And the coach, Coach Klein, who sees this is like, I just found a star linebacker. And he gets him to use this anger to be the best linebacker in the league. And this team that's gone 40 straight losses ends up going to the championship game. It's got an all-star cast with Adam Sandler, Kathy Bates, and Henry Winkler. It's just really funny. You've got it's got everything. Some good cameos from NFL players and coaches. Just really well done.
All right, so I'm gonna go. Man, you're gonna hate my list, but my number 4 is Radio. I love the movie Radio. This guy hates it for some reason. It's a nice, feel-good movie. Cuban Gooding Jr. has played one of the greatest roles I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, he did. In Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire and in Radio. It's just one of those. I really like the turnaround. The team starts bullying him, and then he becomes a real big part of the team, right? They focus on him. I think Ed Harris is the one that plays the coach, right? They're like, let's do something for this boy. This boy he's just always by himself playing his radio, saying, radio, radio. And it's just such a great feel-good movie. And if you don't like this movie, you're evil. So that's where I draw.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is The Blind Side. Another movie where it's just nice. I'm not gonna lie, The Blind Side made me a fan of Michael Orr. So I always wanted him to win a Super Bowl after I saw this movie, because seeing where some of these NFL players come from. Like, Michael Orr was homeless. He had no hope. And then this one family takes him in because they see the talent he has. And he was able to use that talent to go to the NFL, right? It's just nice to see. It's just pretty much the American dream, right? You go from being total homeless to a millionaire. Like, who doesn't want to have that dream happen to them, right? All right, what about you?
My number 3 movie is Rudy. Rudy. You know what? This movie could easily be number 1. It was hard picking between my top 3. It's just a feel-good movie of feel-good movies. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just a small kid with heart. You know, Rudy is 5'0", 100 pounds soaking wet, but this guy plays like he's 6'7", 400 pounds. Just that's the heart he has, right? And you see this never give up. He works harder than any other player, and he gets chastised for it. I remember on the last practice of the season, and he's still playing like it's the first practice, and the one guy tries to fight Rudy, and he's like, it's the last practice, and this kid's playing like the Super Bowl. And the coach says, yeah, that's why you're going nowhere with football. If you guys had if you had a sliver of Rudiger's heart, you'd all be NFLers. And it's just a really feel-good movie. It's got one of the best scores in movie history. And, you know, Xavier's comment about the coach, you know, the last coach that wasn't going to let him play, that's actually a little fictional. The coach was told that he was going to be a little victimized for Hollywood effect, but he said, like, that jersey scene, because that never happened, like, he was always playing that last game, that jersey scene never happened, and he was so upset. So Hollywood obviously fictionalized it a little bit. There was the crowd never chanted Rudy. He got into the game. But remember, it's a safety thing, too. He's 5'0". Like, it's, you know, yes, he's got heart, but you don't want him to get hurt in the game. And
It's the last game, let the man
he
play.
played. He got a sack. It was good. He got carried off the field. It was fantastic. It's just, you know what? Sorry, someone who's been like 7 foot his entire life doesn't understand what us small people have to go through.
I'm not
and having
7 feet.
a hard time playing sports. Rudy is a guy that you can look up to. Rudy is that underdog story that people can just relate to, because if anyone who's never had an opportunity because they've been too slow or too small or been chastised for a deformity or something like that, this is the person that you can look for inspiration. So I love Rudy, and if we ever get the opportunity to go through it, there's so many nice things I can say about it. My number 2 movie is The Replacements. This might be the funniest of all football movies. It's a movie that takes place with like the NFLers going on strike, and they put a team of rejects together. These are their guys that are either getting their chances or our second chance, and we see like this tough start where they all don't want to work together. They're all there for their selfish reasons. They get into this huge bar scene. They dance together in the jail scene. They come together as a team and win a couple games. And one of my favorite speeches in movie history is from this movie, when they're talking at a practice about some of their fears, and like they're all saying these stupid like fears like spiders and this and that, and Falco comes up and he kind of says like his biggest fear is quicksand. And not actual quicksand, but this idea, like in life, when one thing goes bad, and then you just kind of worry more, and you grip a little bit tighter, and then another thing goes bad, and then another thing goes bad, and then another thing goes bad. I think a lot of people have that fear, and they don't even realize. And I really like that scene. I really like how the star quarterback, like the best quarterback in the league, crosses the picket line, and the coach basically tells Flacco that you're out. And this quarterback's coming back, and then they're just getting destroyed. And Flacco comes back, and like they come back and they win on like the last play. It's just I can't say anything fun or inspirational. That just won't be our style. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Sorry, my thing. So am I up?
You're up. Number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is you're gonna get pissed off. Remember the Titans.
Why do I get pissed off? It's a fantastic movie.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were going to get upset that it's not number 1.
It's not my list.
Okay, sure. So, really love Remember the Titans. This is one of the movies that I really remember because this is one that I've been rewatching constantly. There's only 2 movies that I've watched a lot more, which is number 2 and number 1, to be honest. But yeah, I really enjoyed Remember the Titans. Denzel Washington, excellent scene. As you can tell, it's one of the only movies where I remember the line, where I remember the quote from. So from last week.
Can you repeat the line?
I can't repeat the line right now.
Go ahead.
But I know you could. So you do this, you do the 100 laps. You do this, you do that. That's
going to be perfect in every aspect of the game.
Yeah.
You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile. Continue,
perfect.
Though.
It reminds me.
Remember the Titans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those great movies, and even though they don't actually win it all at the end,
they do win it all in the end.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. No, they win it all in the end.
No way.
Yes, they do. They do. They win it all in the end. They go undefeated. That's why they'll remember the Titans. Remember, they hold up the ball together at the end.
Oh yeah.
My God.
Friday Night Lights. That's the one.
Oh, Xavier. Oh,
my bad. I can't. I misplaced it with Friday Night Lights. But
that's kind of embarrassing.
Listen, your face is embarrassing.
Just continue.
All right, but it's a great feel.
Where they don't get it in the end.
They do get it in the end, obviously, you idiot. Weren't you just paying attention to the movie? But yeah.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Friday Night Lights. This guy, look at his face. He's so upset. Look, I can just see the simmering rage.
Bad movie. It wasn't even my top 20 list.
I know. I don't know why it's not.
Anyway, continue.
Listen, everybody has opinions.
Yeah, that's true. Yours
your
are wrong.
Opinion's wrong, but that's okay.
All right, just tell us about your number 1 movie. Don't want to hear my.
But yeah, so really love Remember Friday Night Lights. It's just one of those where I was just always on the edge of my seat. I just could not stop watching this movie, and just it was just so amazing for me. This is what really got me into football, which is hilarious. It just wasn't really Remember the Titans, more Friday Night Lights. That's when I was like, oh, football's a pretty cool sport. It's great. What's your number one?
Did you watch the TV show?
I didn't watch the TV show yet. There's way too much TV. There's too much good TV
My number
on.
one movie or football movie of all time is Remember the Titans. It's Denzel at his best. If you ask me for a favorite Denzel movie, it's Remember the Titans. Coach Herman Boone is just a character to respect. He is firm and he's strict, but he is fair. The best play. Doesn't matter if you're black. Doesn't matter if you're white. He does not use race as an aspect. He treats the blacks no different than he treats the whites. Mm-hmm. It's just a role model that we should look up to and respect. The movie's emotional. The movie's real. The score is probably one of the best scores of all time. Barack Obama, when he won the presidency in 2008, and his not his inauguration, but in his like after the election when he won, they played that score just to show you how good it was. The story is just fantastic. The integration, the character relationships between like Bertier and Julius are fantastic. I love Will Patton, as he'll always be the guy from Armageddon for me, but he's great as Coach Yost. You know, he a character that just has honor to him, right? He won't step away from the team. He gives up his chance of the Hall of Fame so he can help his team. He respects Boone. And at the end of the day, when they hold up that football together after they win it all, that is one of the great scenes in sports movie history, in any sports movie history, whatever sport you're talking about. So that's our top 10 football movies. Let us know what you think. Do you have any honorable mentions you want to mention?
No.
Can I make a?
If you don't agree,
our producer Dave is showing us Any Given Sunday. That was not also on my top 20. Now he's showing us the program, not on my top 20 either. The two honorable mentions that I will mention are The Blind Side and The Express.
Okay.
I do make a recommendation for you though, Xavier. You have some movies to watch. Like, you gotta watch Varsity Blues, Little Giants, Leatherhead's Brian Song. You got some movies to watch.
All the movies that you talked about, I really like. I want to see Leatherheads out of all of them.
Oh, Little Giants. Have you seen The Waterboy?
No, I haven't.
Oh my, Xavier! How many of my movies have you seen? You saw Draft Day.
Draft Day.
Rudy, Replacements, and Remember the Titans.
Replacements.
Man, you can't call yourself a movie. You got. How do you actually? I meant to ask you at the beginning of the podcast. How do you feel about last week? I've been talking to some people. They're laughing at you.
Listen,
some of my coworkers, the guy Dan who I go to the gym with.
It's okay, you know. I'm just here for the. The giggles.
The giggles. I'm just saying. It's funny. Make sure you comment on what list is better. Clearly, it'll be mine because Xavier had Friday Night Lights as his number one movie.
There's nothing wrong with Friday Night Lights. It's a perfect movie.
Lots of things.
It's a 10 out of 10.
Anyways, that's it for us this week.
The first 10 out of 10 I've ever given
Next
a
week
movie.
on our podcast, we're going to be talking about the Lego Movie 2, and we'll see if there's some other movies that come out. We're going to go with Valentine's Day coming up. We're going to go to the vault and talk about The Notebook.
Ooh, that's one of my favorite romantic dramas.
Very good. I'm excited to talk about it. Guys, you have a great week. Go Patriots, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow, subscribe, and like us on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. And if you think my list is terrible, it's okay. Talk crap on the YouTube comments.
Please do.
Take it.
Take it easy, guys.
Take care.